What's up, guys? GameNut here, and welcome back to week number 7 of our NFL regular season predictions. I can't believe it's already week 7, guys. This season is going by way too fast, but let's go ahead and take a look, of course, at last week's predictions and see how well we did. And we, once again, are kind of continuing on with our slight domination streak here, if that's what you want to call it. So last week, for week number 5, we got 10 games right, and this week, once again, we got 10 right as well. So we went 10-5, and, that's pretty decent. That sets us currently at a 52-39-2 record. So we're actually doing really well up to this point of the season, and we're actually starting to pull ahead big time now of Madden 19 and EA Sports for their predictions, because as you guys are seeing, they got the same record as last week as well. They only got 7 games correct and they got 8 wrong, so they went negative once again, and that is almost putting them at 500 for the entire year. So that's putting them at a 46-45-2 record. So currently we are 6 games ahead of Madden 19. I'm definitely feeling pretty comfortable about where we're at right now. We definitely have some leeway room though, so if we have a couple of bad weeks in between now and then, still, like, even if we have like a really bad week this week, we'll still probably be ahead of Madden 19 in the record. So I'm definitely feeling comfortable about where we're at right now. But now let's of course go ahead and get into week number 7's games. So first off, we do have 4 teams on a bye week this week. That's a lot more than what we've been seeing the past couple of weeks. Currently, the Packers, Raiders, Steelers, and Seahawks, they are all currently on a bye this week. So let's go ahead and get into our Thursday night game, which you guys know obviously was the Broncos and Cardinals, and the Broncos absolutely smoked the Cardinals, man. The Cardinals are just a complete mess. Josh Rosen, I don't think is a very good quarterback, but I don't actually have a tweet of my prediction on screen. It's kind of a long story, but I'll keep it short for you guys. So basically, last week, probably around Friday, my computer was making a weird noise. It ended up being there was a part that went bad in there. It was my water cooler, so I couldn't run my computer. Otherwise, my processor would have been way too hot, probably would have burned out and just ruined more parts of my computer. So for about 4 days of this week, from Monday to Thursday, I was without a computer. Now, originally, I was going to wait for a replacement part because it was under warranty, but that was originally going to take way too long to be able to send the old part there, be able to then send the new part back. That was way too long of a process. I couldn't handle it. By day number 3.5, I was losing my mind. I was like, I have to have a computer, so I just went out, had to go buy a new part instead, and just fixed up myself. And obviously we're back up and running. Now, during the Thursday night game was actually while I was fixing my computer. So Thursday night when the Broncos and Cardinals were playing was when I was fixing it. So obviously I didn't have a computer, wasn't able to tweet out. But if you guys don't want to believe me, that's fine. Obviously I was going to choose the Broncos. There was no way I was choosing the Cardinals that game. Obviously I didn't think the Broncos were that good of a team. They kind of had like a good start to the season, slowed down a little bit, but against Cardinals, who are a pretty terrible team to say the least, I was definitely going to go with the Broncos. So again, I don't have proof that I chose them before the game happened, but that's your choice if you guys want to believe me or not. So luckily we did get the Thursday night game correct this week. But we now go ahead into Sunday's game, and our first one is our London matchup. We've got the Titans and the Chargers. Now, the Titans just took a nice shutout whooping from my Ravens, man. We beat them 21-0. That was an amazing game to see. I wish I could watch it all over again. Hopefully we do that same thing, this Sunday. But anyways, Titans, like I said, just got beat up big time. We've got the Chargers, who are currently sitting at 4-2. Chargers are looking pretty well, and part of me kind of wants to sit here and say the Titans are going to have a bounce back week in London. They're going to go in 4-3, which, part of me wants to say that so bad, but other part of me, you know what? Okay, fine. I'm going to say it. I'm going to go with the Titans, okay? Like my heart wants to go with the Chargers because I definitely think they're going to get this win, but for some reason my gut is telling me to go with the Titans. So for some reason I'm going to choose the Titans over the Chargers. I don't know why, but let's see if Tennessee can have a bounce back week and get themselves a 4-3 record after this week. A good division matchup here. We've got the Texans and the Jaguars, and Jags, starting off really good on the season. They were like, what, 3-0 or something like that. They were just dominating teams, one of the best defenses in the league, and now things have just kind of been tanking for them. They're sitting at 3-3. They're at 500 along with the Texans, so it's kind of weird. Texans started 0-3, I believe. Jaguars were 3-0, and now both of them are sitting with 3-3 records. Kind of crazy how things turned out there, but I think we've definitely got to go Jacksonville at home, man. I mean, at this point, they're like, okay, we just lost 3 in a row. We got to turn things around here. This will be a big win for them, a division game. Obviously, Jags have the number 2 defense right now in the NFL, and playing at home, I think they'll definitely be able to beat the Texans here, so got to go Jags at home. So now we've got the Panthers and the Eagles, and the Panthers, personally to me look like they're a pretty good team. The Eagles kind of are a little bit rocky. I mean, obviously they're not the Eagles from last year, but they're kind of starting to bring things around a little bit. They got the win last week to bounce back and be back at 500. But I think I'm going to have to go with Panthers here, man. I'm going to try and go with, I think I'm going to go Cam traveling to the Eagles' home stadium. And I think they're going to come out with the win. And I think the Eagles will go 3-4 on the season. That's going to, raise a couple of flags. and people are probably gonna start freaking out a little bit. But I think I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Yeah, I'm gonna say Panthers. They're gonna go to the Philadelphia Stadium, and they're gonna get the win. Next up, we've got the Vikings and the Jets. Now, I've been riding kind of decent on the Jets. After Sam Darnold was proving himself a little bit, I've kind of been on the Jets side a little bit here and there. I've been picking them to win a couple games, and I think I've been right for most of the games that are 2 of the games at least that I picked the Jets to win. But I think here, even though they are home, playing against the Vikings, I feel like that's going to be kind of difficult for them to come out with a win here. If they go 4-3, I'll be happy for the Jets, but I think we're going to have to go Vikings here. That kind of seems like the logical choice. Now we have the Patriots, who are 4-2, going to be traveling to Chicago, where the Bears are sitting at 3-2. And the Bears have they got a nice defense. They've been having a pretty good start to their season so far. I think they still in charge of the NFC North? I'm not exactly sure if they're in first place still or not. But the Bears have been having a good start to their season, and even though they're at home, I think things are starting to turn around for the Patriots and Tom Brady. They're going back to their winning ways, and I don't know if I can see Chicago defending their home stadium here against the Patriots. I think they're going to fall to 500 at this point of the season, so I'm going to have to go with New England taking the win here. Our next game is kind of a poop show, not going to lie. We've got the Bills, who are 2-4. Colts are 1-5. This is definitely not going to be an interesting game to watch whatsoever. And I'm not really sure who's going to come out on top here. I guess I'll go with the Colts. I kind of see the Colts going 2-5 and the Bills matching that, so they'll both be 2-5 after this game. I don't see them going 3-4. I don't think the Colts will fall to 1-6 either, so I think I'm going to go with Andrew Luck defending his home stadium here, getting win number 2 on the season. We've got Cleveland, who is 2-3-1. Baker's been doing a pretty decent job so far up to this point, carrying the Browns to those 2 victories, and I'm actually going to be starting Baker in fantasy football this week because I've got Aaron Rodgers on a bye, so I had to go on the waivers, and I think Baker's going to be my best choice currently what's available in my league. So hopefully, Mayfield pulls through for me and he gets some points for me. But obviously, the Buccaneers started really hot. They were 2-0. Looked like Fitzmagic was going to be the guy there. And then obviously their season kind of tanked at this point. They're sitting at 2-3, and they actually have the 31st ranked defense, almost the last ranked defense in the NFL according to the stats here that what I'm looking at right now. So hopefully, Baker can put up some good numbers for me, and I'm going to be going with Cleveland to win this game. I think I can see Baker making this team 3-3-1. Next up, we've got the Lions and the Dolphins. The Lions are a very inconsistent team. They're just up and down, man, all over the place. You never know when their team is going to show up. And then we've got the Dolphins at home, who are currently 4-2. Actually have got a pretty decent record, which is crazy because they have the number 27th ranked offense and the 26th ranked defense. That is both terrible, but they're sitting at 4-2. How does that make any sense whatsoever? I have no idea. But I'm going to be going with Detroit. I think they're going to travel. I think the Detroit team will actually show up this week. Matt Stafford will be able to get it done. He's going to bring his team to 500 at this point of the season. And then we've got arguably the best game of the day. We've got the Saints 4-1, who currently, on Twitter, I've been seeing this week, it says they have the number 1 ranked offense. But when I look at the schedule, I go on NFL.com, and right now their stats are saying they only have the number 3 offense. Oh, obviously they have a really good offense. Okay, we'll go with that. But we've got one of the best offenses in the league traveling to my Ravens, who are 4-2 against the number 1 ranked defense. Guys, I am so ridiculously excited for this game. I've got butterflies. I cannot wait to watch it. It's going to be a really, really good game regardless. We should have been the Sunday night primetime game, but if we lose to the Saints, I'm not going to be that mad because obviously they're a really good team. I think regardless, this is going to be like a 1-possession game. It's going to come down to the final drive. It's going to be one team trying to either get down to field goal range or get a last-second touchdown. Which team will be in that position? I have no idea. Hopefully my Ravens do come out on top, which obviously I'm picking them, never going against my own team. But guys, I cannot be more excited for this game. I'm so pumped. I hope my Ravens pull through, man, and we are able to continue our record of keeping Drew Brees winless against my Ravens. Next up, we've got a divisional matchup here. The Cowboys are going to take on the Redskins at their home stadium. Cowboys are 3-3. Redskins are 3-2. Cowboys kind of, I still don't think they're that amazing of a team, but they've been turning things around a little bit here. Obviously, they whooped Jacksonville last week, which that was crazy to see. I don't know what happened to the Jaguars last week, but they did not show up to play a game. And then the Redskins 2 weeks ago got absolutely cremated by the Saints on Monday night. But obviously, the Cowboys have a decent defense. It says they're currently 4th ranked in the league. They still have an absolutely terrible offense, but I think I'm going to have to go with the Redskins here defending it defending their home stadium, and they're going to get the win. I mean, typically, I've seen a trend throughout like the entire NFL. Every single division, it doesn't matter how good a certain team is or how bad a certain team is. If it's a divisional game, those two teams are going to play each other very tough. It'll be a close game. Very rarely is it a blowout, and obviously that's going to be the case here. The Cowboys, the Redskins, it's going to be a close game, but I think in the end, I'm going to go with the home team. The Redskins will get the win here. Got another divisional matchup here. We've got the Rams and the 49ers, and even though I just said usually division matchups are pretty close, obviously that's I don't think that's going to be the case here. I mean, maybe the Niners, show something, show some life here, and they might actually put up some points because they did a really good job against Green Bay last week, now that I think about it. But I still think we got to go Rams here. I think they're going to continue to go undefeated. If they ever lose this point of the season, now's not going to be the week. There's no way they're going to lose to the 1-5 Niners, so I'm going to have to go with the Rams here. Continuing on, they're going to be 7-0 after this week. And then we've got our final Sunday game. Sunday Night Football is going to be the Bengals, who are 4-2, traveling to the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and that offense, who are currently sitting at 5-1. And obviously, we're going with the Chiefs here. I'm very glad that they actually flexed this game to Sunday Night Football, because the Bengals, especially Andy Dalton, they're terrible in primetime. They absolutely suck. I think the Chiefs are going to give them a reality check here. They're going to smack them around a lot. It's going to be a pretty big win for the Chiefs. They're going to be 4-3 after this week. I think the Bengals are definitely going to take a loss, which hopefully, my Ravens could be first place in the division after this week, which will be nice to see. But yeah, obviously, we're going Chiefs at home here. They're going to be 6-1. They're going to manhandle the Bengals. And finally, last but not least, we have I wouldn't say another poop show, but obviously these are two teams. Well, at least the Falcons. I didn't expect the Falcons to be 2-4 at this point. As for the Giants, 1-5, not necessarily that surprised either. But who we're gonna go with here? The Falcons are home. Giants are 1-5 right now, traveling to Atlanta. I think we definitely got to go Falcons here, okay? Obviously, I've been picking the Falcons a lot, which they've always been letting me down, obviously, because they're 2-4 at this point, but I don't really see them losing here primetime Monday Night Football to the 1-5 Giants. I don't see them falling to 2-5. I think the Falcons, if they're going to have, some revival of their season and try and turn things around slightly, this will be the chance to do that. So they'll be 3-4 after this week. So going to have to go with Atlanta. And there you guys have it. There are my predictions for week 7 of the NFL regular season. So let's go ahead, take a quick look very fast and see what Madden 19 did predict for their games. Not going to drag this on too long. So for their Thursday night game, I mean, no surprise here. They're continuing their Thursday night correct guesses. And obviously they chose the Broncos to win. And obviously they were right. So thankfully we were right on this as well. We both got the Broncos winning on Thursday Night Football. So after that, we've got the Titans and Chargers, the London game. They're going to be going against us here, and they are choosing the Chargers to be the team that comes out on top. The next two games, we are the exact same. We both have the Jaguars beating the Texans, and we both have the Panthers beating the Eagles. Next game, we have the Vikings and the Jets. They're going to be going with the Jets at home by 1 point, according to Madden 19 right now. So that's interesting. See if the Jets can pull that off. They also have Chicago holding it down at home. They're going to be beating the Patriots. That'll be interesting to see if that actually happens. And of course, we did agree on the next couple of games as well. We've both got the Colts beating the Bills. We both have the Browns beating the Buccaneers. After that, Lions and Dolphins. We got another 1 point victory for the Dolphins. They're going to go against us here instead of choosing the Lions. They're always going against my Ravens too, man. Of course, they're going to go against us here. They're doubting my team once again. They think the Saints are going to get the win here. I think that my Ravens can get it done though, man. Like I said, I'm so pumped about that game. Then we've got the division game. Another 1 point victory here again. They're going to go with us though for the Redskins beating the Cowboys by 1 point. They got the Rams continuing their undefeated season, beating the Niners. They also have the Chiefs beating the Bengals. And then last but not least, we're going against each other here. They're actually going to be going with the Giants, traveling to Atlanta and getting the win on Monday Night Football. So for the most part, we were in agreement on a couple of games here, but we're also in disagreement on a couple. So we either have an opportunity to once again to continue to pull ahead of Madden 19 in our overall record and can pull ahead by a couple more games, or we could even out the record a little bit here and things could be kind of even after this week. We'll have to see. But that is going to do it for this episode, you guys. Hopefully all of you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to put a thumbs up on the video if you did, and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Enjoy some football today, of course, you guys, and I will catch you all next week. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.